Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Long Distance Pizza Party Podcast, episode 58. It's 58 episodes, and, as far as I know, no audio issues from Dawk this time, or me. As long as it's not coming from... more than likely, the audio issues do come from me every week. It's... 58 episodes, you think we'd have it ironed out, but it'll take another 58 episodes. Or not, or it's just a fun running joke.
If
because we're the old farts around here.
That long.
You might outlive me. You don't know. Stuff happens. But we're not talking about audio issues. We do have a guest, and as long as the guest doesn't have audio issues, we are good. We have Christain Lense Media with us. If you want to introduce yourself a little bit. Just talk about what content you make and what kind of started that.
Yeah, absolutely. The account is Christain Lense Media. I make content analyzing movies, about to do songs for the first time, just looking for biblical themes in spaces that we wouldn't expect them to be in. The idea from that really came from a very, very long time ago, from watching like The Little Mermaid when I was like 18 years old, rewatching The Little Mermaid, and all of a sudden that I sort of had the idea for making a channel like that eventually, and then I completely forgot about it until I watched Star Wars for the first time about a year and a half ago. And there were so many themes in it that I was like, I did have that idea forever ago. And I just felt like it was the moment to start it. So we did.
Nice. Yeah, that's, I've had people ask me why I don't do movie stuff, because that's like, with a lot of my friends, we'd like talking about movies. I don't know about you, but it's like, there's times where I don't know if I could talk about a movie enough to like get something out of it, and sometimes it's like a popcorn film, or like I'm too into it and I don't want to ruin it if I overanalyze it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So I
have had that concern.
It's especially if you really like that film, then you tend to like it less. What was like that? You were talking about Star Wars. Was that like that? That when you're like, oh, I really need to, or in Little Mermaid? But like, seeing from your profile, I think you were making a lot of content on more recent stuff like Thunderbolts and Superman, which I think a lot of people really gravitated towards. Were those two like your big ones you really wanted to talk about when you started doing this, or was it just kind of your approach of let's do current movies, or is there ever you want to like seed in older movies with it, or was just that influx just kind of how you did it?
Yeah, so Thunderbolts was one of those movies that I watched and like immediately identified a lot of Christian themes in it. So that one was one where I wasn't concerned about whether or not I was going to find enough stuff to talk about, because I felt like we had stuff to talk about. So that was definitely going to be one of the first ones, especially when it came to the longer form content. And Superman came about because when I made a video on TikTok just asking for what movies people wanted to see a deeper dive on. And a lot of people mentioned Superman, and they mentioned all of the Supermen. So I figured I would just go from the most recent one and work my way back. So that's the plan for Superman. And I feel like Superman, he was originally based on Moses, is oftentimes depicted as a Christ figure. So hopefully we have enough content there from with all of the movies. But I'll be I think the Superman 2025 released this past Wednesday, and I'll be then covering Man of Steel and then working my way back.
Have fun going with those later Chris Reeves ones. They're kind of
yeah.
they're a doozy. That first one's good. It's those
yes.
others where it's like, okay, there's like a progressive decline, and the good thing is Chris Reeves is not the worst part about those films. It's everything surrounding him, and it's frustrating. I remember watching as a kid. Listen, I've watched them all, and as a kid, I watched 4, and I'm like, what is this? Why is there like this blonde Superman that's not something I read from the comics? Like, what is
Nuclear Man?
Like, what is this? Like, this doesn't.
Yeah, heavily considering for the Chris Reeves movies to just do one long video for all of
do one chunk,
yeah, because it does get it would be a doozy to try to do 3 and 4 there. I mean, there's some gems, right? There's some gems with him. Some scenes, the scene of him fighting himself is cool. There, that's the list of positives that I have for the later ones. I mean, he's aside from his performance, because he's amazing as Superman.
Oh yeah. We do have some guest questions. We pile them on as we go. Being the Long Distance Pizza Party podcast, do you have like a favorite pizza, or like, is that something that you enjoy?
Oh, yeah, who doesn't enjoy pizza? Of course. I guess I'm boring and I just like a regular cheese, but if I'm gonna put something on there, probably I would just put bacon on it.
You didn't say pineapple. Okay, you can stay.
Yeah. Oh no, pineapple should never be on pizza.
No. Pineapple is good on pizza. It just can't. You can't if it's done right.
So this is how we stir up Nathaniel right here. We start talking about pineapple and pizza.
There you go. Though my dad made today. I mean, it as a joke, and he's like, "Oh, this is okay." Did with sloppy joes, because we just had leftover sloppy joe meat in the fridge that needed used up, and no one was gonna touch it. So he threw it. It was actually pretty good.
Sloppy joes is a sleeper hit.
I mean, it's past sausage. It's like, it's more ground up, more than sausage. It's beef, but it's like that similar feel. Yeah.
You put sloppy joe on the
pizza. You put it on the pizza.
Yeah, on the pizza.
That's definitely the first I've heard of that.
My dad was like, "It's good." I was like, "Okay, sure."
Trusting.
You know, when yeah, of course.
Sam and the pep talk days small.
It's still edible. As long as it goes down and not back up, that's usually how that works. My notes. There we go. So when I already kind of asked that. So talking about some of your content you're posting, what is like your consistent schedule with that? I think like with some creators, they don't really talk about when it comes to a lot of their posting schedule. Because recently I just changed mine, because I was doing I think I was doing 2 videos a day, which I can do pretty well if I do an editing chunk, but now with my new job, it's like very consistent schedule, and so now it's I think I do 2 videos one day, and then it's shorts one day, then videos another. Like, I alternate it, so now one day I can just do all my shorts for the week, and then one day do all my content. So I don't know if that's how I don't know how some of your workflow works, because I don't know if you post stuff to YouTube as well, or is it just...
So I just started posting long form videos on YouTube, so my schedule is being reworked at the moment. For TikTok, I really just sat down I would list out the ideas and then have 2 days where I batch a whole bunch of them and then post them all throughout the week. But with YouTube now, I sort of have like scripting days, filming days, editing days, and then on the very tail end of that, I then have the day where I edit all of the shorts. YouTube is a lot more work than TikTok, and I know that you guys have been on there for a while, so my hat's off to you guys. Yeah, for sure.
TikTok makes it look easy because you can just do it on your phone.
Yeah,
YouTube, they want to do that, but the system's not great. When you try doing a
yeah,
YouTube through YouTube editing, that's something that's always been bad. I've heard, and I've tried using it once or twice. I'm like, I don't know anyone that can use this. I've know people that can, and I'm like, it's. I feel like it's a lot of trial and error.
I see. I just edit on Canva, at least the long form ones. Like
Nice.
uh TikTok, I edit on TikTok because it's the easiest thing. And then those very same TikToks I re-upload as shorts. But for the long form, I just use Canva because it's the easiest, most user-friendly thing. I'm not the best editor. So it's the simplest system for me to figure out.
See, Doc has it easy. He doesn't even film himself. It's just whatever book he's reading. He doesn't have to show his face, so it's way easier.
Fair.
Just his
Smart,
voiceovers.
strategic.
Hey, hey.
Or
Yes, that way I
lighting
don't have
or
to worry
anything.
about
Yeah, yeah.
what I look
It's
like.
oh well, yeah. You got to show the book. You can't.
You still
Yeah,
gotta get the lighting stuff to look right,
So
because
you're
I
not.
do
put
have a
in the
question myself.
Yes.
yeah.
What is like, what has been some of your most popular content? Like, is there a certain movie or something you reviewed that really seemed to get a lot of buzz or anything like that?
The very first video that sort of popped off wasn't about a movie. It was just like a straight up Christian video. But when it comes to movie related, the biggest um, um or th- yeah, the video, the TikTok with the most views on it that's been like a movie analysis or talking of a scene is pinned on the top of my TikTok recently. It was talking about Captain America in Endgame when he's about to go fight Thanos by himself, not knowing that there was help coming. Um, uh, that scene has, or that video was the one that has had the most views since I started leaning towards the movie content.
So you spoke with the one you said that was not movie related,
Mhm.
but was Christian themed. What was that one about?
That one was about that one was titled "Why Good People Go to Hell," quote unquote, and it was just talking about how we a relationship with Jesus is voluntary, and that how God can't force you into His presence if you don't choose to be in His presence here. Um, uh, and hopefully that was explained in an okay way in the video because I know it's a sensitive topic.
Okay, kudos for you for wanting to take something like that on because not everybody does. Um, so yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I think that's something everyone wants to try to explain when they're talking to people, and some they you're trying to articulate the best way you can, the way you understood it, and you
Hmm.
came to grasp with that. So it's going to be different from someone else. That's why I always tell people I like doing kids ministry because I can dumb everything down, not to them, but I
Yeah,
can. It's the way I have to explain it is lesser for so they can try understanding it. Which is always entertaining when they try to ask me questions and I have to like think about it for like 30 seconds. I'm like, how do I say this where they're gonna understand and it's not be so much information for them where their tiny minds are just gonna explode in front of me.
right.
Like it's which is always fun. Whenever you're doing kids games, kids ministry, that's always a fun thing, and it's not something really people talk about because when you do kids ministry, they always talk about the fun and games. They don't talk about every question a kid's gonna ask you,
Oh yeah.
especially when it's Bible related, because they want some of them want to know as much as you like as an adult, but they don't have the capacity to filter it all.
And then answering a question just leads to another question, which just leads to another question, and you're just
Hmm.
like,
Especially when you're in a group of them,
whoa.
you have like 20 of them, and you're just like, all right, we're gonna table this. Let's go play some kickball. We'll, you can think through
Yeah.
while
Try to
you're kicking the
distract him.
ball. Yeah,
Here's
Want
some
exactly.
candy.
Legos? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, s'mores. Let's go. Let's sugar you up and throw you out in the field and let you wind
Turn you
down
back
that
over to your
way.
parents in a couple hours when you're all
Yeah,
finished.
yeah. Yeah, there you go. So when it
Yeah.
comes to faith
Wait till
influencing
sugar kicks
the way
in.
you create content, was there ever a movie where you're like, not that like we've touched before, where you're like, oh, I'm not going to get much out of this, but you were like, do I want to talk about this, especially if it's a film that's not maybe like, it's not like a movie most Christians would go to watch. Like, I don't think you do content. You're not gonna do content like the Conjuring films or like
Right.
something like that. I think that's
Finding Jesus
I
in 50 Shades of Grey. No, I was kidding.
I'm sure it's out
Lens,
there.
no.
I'm sure there's some content out there, someone doing
Gospel in the Grey. No, sorry. That's...
that. I'm sure it's out
Um,
there justified somewhere.
Jesus took stripes on your back. No, I'm sorry. That's terrible. No, we're wrong. That's my apologies. Hot take.
So for yeah, I mean for movies like The Conjuring and stuff, like I'll be honest, I'm a scaredy cat. I don't do horror movies in general. So the only ways that like the only horror movie that I've seen as of recently is Send Help, with Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. It was good. It was, and I don't know
It wasn't
if it's exactly, which is why I could
more
manage it.
thriller than horror.
I don't usually do horror films, and it had some gory stuff, but I enjoyed it because it leaned more thriller than horror. But yeah, I have not seen The Conjuring. I have not, and like I'm odds are I won't cover a movie like that unless it's like heavily requested, and then after watching it, I will then consider and then see if there's anything that can be pulled out of a movie like that. Because
Yeah,
I
'cause,
honestly
like-
I don't even know what The Conjuring is about.
I don't remember, and I didn't watch them. I have no interest.
A couple of frauds.
There
Got you.
you
Couple
go.
of frauds
Yeah,
that
they made a
made a
whole
bunch of
that
money.
then spun off a whole
Synopsis.
movie franchise. Yeah, like, well, yeah.
No,
But, like,
no, they made a whole bunch of money off of real people.
Doing horror films is like it's taboo with Christians
then,
because like they're
yeah.
like, oh, you shouldn't because it's like worshiping Satan or whatever. But then there are people in Christian communities that a couple years ago there was a Christian horror film.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
was
I know
it
what you're
called?
talking about, but I forgot what it's called.
Insidious? Was it called Insidious?
Insidious. Yes, Insidious or...
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm finding this
No, it
out.
wasn't
Continue.
Insidious because Insidious was the
I
other
can't think
one.
what it was called now, and he's gonna look it up. But like, there
Was
are
it
people that
Nicolas Cage one that they
no, it
they
wasn't
did,
it wasn't that weird Left Behind one with Nicolas Cage.
No.
oh no, it was one where they did like the younger years of Jesus.
Nefarious.
Nefarious. I knew it was like Insidious and Nefarious. It was like some like that
Yeah.
phrasage. I know which one you're talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, it's in Christian
pretty
media.
good.
It's like that's something very few people are tackling, and I'm sure it has its place. I'm not someone to watch horror films. Like I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't like scary stuff. It's not
Mhm.
my go-to, but I don't mind. Like if you're gonna go for a darker topic with reason, and if you're in a spiritual level, like if you're not like in being grim dark with it,
Mm-hmm.
like I have no interest in watching any of the Conjuring films or like the Annabelle films or anything. Like I feel like sometimes again it's making money off of a fraud
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, for all the part. But it's like it could be something that Christians could tackle if done correctly.
Yeah, I'm sure that there is a Christian out there built for that.
Yeah.
I'm just not her.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like, yeah, Nefarious was still more in the thriller type. Just like
Yes.
years ago, they adapted a couple of Ted
Didn't they do
Becker's
Monster?
stuff with 3 and
I think
They
did
did
didn't they do House?
Visitation. That was
Oh,
a good one.
House.
Yeah, Pretty, but that was a good one. I like the Visitation.
They never did the Circle series.
That
I was
was
kind of
pretty,
bummed
yeah.
they never got around doing the Circle series.
That
So I
was,
like
those
those
would be good.
books.
Yeah, those would be good.
Doing the Circle and then the other one is tied in with it.
Green, red,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
So it's funny they
There's a
did
lot-
they did a
there-
graphic
there's a lot
novel
tied
version
in
of
with
it,
it.
and the artist just drew
But-
Tom Cruise. Like I was like, oh, if this was like 10 years ago and he hadn't done like The Mummy, like if it was like early 2000s, like Tom Cruise doing Mission Impossible 1 or 2, maybe, but like now that he's almost pushing 60, I don't see him doing it. Or 70, he's getting up there.
He's not 70 yet.
He's in that middle range. He's getting there. He's older than he's the age is starting to catch up with him finally. He's not looking like he just got frozen in time. What is like your go-to movie preference? You've already said you're not horror and you tend to like a lot of nerdy movies. I don't know if that was something that got recommended to you or that was something you already like you wanted to make content on.
So, I think when I was younger, I leaned towards the girly rom-com films. But somewhere in my mid-20s, I got tired of them. And then somebody recommended that I watch a Marvel movie, and then it became my entire personality. And that's pretty much where we are. I fell in love with sci-fi, fell in love with superhero movies. And yeah, so that's what I lean towards the most is sci-fi.
Nice.
Like
Okay.
what series? I was gonna say what series in particular or
So
movies in
favorite
particular
sci-fi
that you
then.
lean toward?
As in my favorite superhero movies.
Yeah, superhero movies, TV series.
TV series as of recently, I love Invincible. I'm really excited for the next season. Um, uh,
Okay.
Movies, I really did love the Superman movie from last year. It was one of my favorites. Um, Marvel wise, movies. I think I'm always gonna love Civil War. Um, Always gonna be one of the top ones for me. And Winter Soldier. And of course, Infinity War. Like those, I think that's one of the obvious ones for everyone. Um, yeah, those are some of the top ones. I also love the Daredevil show. I really enjoyed Born
Season
Again.
season 2 comes out next month.
Yeah,
I think it's next month. Yeah,
yeah, I'm
that yeah.
excited.
Oh, it's ended this month.
It's
I thought I
it's
knew
the
it was
end of this
March
month.
because I know we had Wonder Man, and then I knew it was Daredevil, and then there's
I
something else in
think.
between that.
Oh wait, no. It's no, sorry.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah.
What's it
I'm
called?
excited
Monarch
for
comes out the end of this
Daredevil,
month. Yeah, next month, I
Born Again
think.
season 2. I mean,
me too.
I'm excited to see what Matthew Lillard's part is because I
Hmm.
know the character he's playing, and I
So
was like, how many comics was he in? He's in a handful of issues, and I know they're probably gonna not do much of his story in the comics because they don't want to ape off of like making him Marvel's Scarecrow. They don't want to go that route with it. But I think they're going to do more of like him
yeah,
doing using social media. I think that's going to be something that's going to be topical for him. That's just the vibe I got watching the trailer.
Gotcha.
That's what yeah, it's the feeling I got with him, and just also they just
okay,
cast Matthew
yeah, end
Lillard,
of
so now
March.
there's a bunch of people from Scream that are just gonna probably gonna like excited. Yeah, Daredevil's one of those shows. Daredevil's one of those. You see the list of fictional characters that are Christian, entertainment Christians. That's what I call it because it's very much like either they're Catholic or they're like
Yeah.
it's mainly Catholic, or sometimes you get Baptist in there, but it's very like it's Baptist, but I haven't been in church in years. Baptist, it's weird.
Right.
It's weird. It's a weird thing in fiction. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, Invincible is one of those. I could never get into an Invincible. I don't know what it was. I think because I read
Oh,
some
it's
of the
good.
comics, and I was like, oh, okay, I get what we're doing here. It's Robert Kirkman. He did Walking Dead. Oh, okay. I just couldn't get into Invincible. My brother loves the show. That's the one show he doesn't watch a lot of TV, and that's the show he'll watch, and he's excited for whenever a new season comes out.
Nice. He has excellent taste.
If you haven't
No,
noticed,
no, no,
Nate
no, no,
likes
no, no. I
to
don't push down everything.
push down anything.
No, 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 no. I talk positive
He's
about
the
some stuff.
contrarian
I
And he'll
to
be
talk
like,
you.
well, that's okay, but really, it's not.
for those who like it. You can like it. I don't know. I think I just got tired of let's.
He
Yes,
takes
You
about a
just use more words than
10-minute
everybody
rant
else to
when it gets
explain
said
why you don't like
in
it.
like 5 words.
I know. I just don't like shows now that the whole show has to be let's make fun of a bunch of different references. It's fine, but like every show started doing it. And that's I don't know. At some point, I'm sure I'll watch Invincible, but it has to be after all the hypes die down, where I can like enjoy it more.
Oh.
I think it's more of the thing. But if you like it, you like it. I'm
I
not
was gonna say he's the counterculture of us.
okay.
He's
I'm not a
he's
hipster,
the
but I think that
hipster.
is on my Instagram profile for. So I can't not
Nobody
say
can't like
that.
it. Nobody can't like it. Somebody likes it. I
No,
can't like it right
no.
now. Whenever he quits liking, I'll like it.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. That's what this podcast for is just we gotta tone down my ego. That's just what it's for.
We like
The pod
picking
is
with
just
we
to
like
keep you humble.
yeah, we
Yes,
like picking with
exactly.
Nathaniel. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, Superman was one of those films. I think there's a lot of Christian content got made about it. I think that was just a movie that everyone really gravitated towards.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's just Superman in general. There's like this good, hopeful
Yeah.
message I think everyone likes
Mhm.
to gather towards, and I think the movie nailed it down pretty
Mhm.
well. And even some of the changes they made, I really like. I actually enjoyed. Some people complain about, but I like the changes. Like with his origin.
With his
Um,
parents, yeah.
well, because they've played with that, but then that later gets they always retcon it. They're like, no, actually, we need to have him remember, which I've never made to me never made sense with the character. If he's never experienced it, how would you remember everything or have all the stuff? Like it doesn't jive with everything. Like, and sometimes he
Mm-hmm.
does remember some of it, and sometimes he doesn't because like time travel stories or whatever. But like they seem to like he's gotten most of his information from his cousin. That's what I gathered from it. So it's gonna be interesting what she remembers once we get to the Supergirl movie, which I think is
Mm-hmm.
that the next DC movie? I think.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that
think
comes out.
Supergirl and then
Mm,
Clayface.
Yes.
Yeah, because Super comes May, of course.
Yeah,
May or
Clayface is gonna
June?
be an October,
Yeah,
November release, right around
Yeah.
Halloween, because it's supposed to be a horror.
June. Yeah.
yeah.
I think
It fills the summertime
June for
slot. Yeah,
Supergirl,
yeah,
and
and then
yeah,
Clayface, which we'll
I'm very
see.
excited for Supergirl.
Yeah, Supergirl. It's interesting. I know a lot of people are going to complain, but the reason people are complaining is because the guy that helped write it, but it's not James Gunn, but the guy that wrote the comic and that helped do the script. They complain about him a lot on social media. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that movie does. I like the book it's based off of, so it's gonna be interesting to see how well it goes into the movie and if they broaden anything that's in the book because it's two different
Yeah.
mediums. Um, what is like what is like a one movie where you're like got like a
yeah.
real deep meaning? I know you talked about again Superman Thunderbolts. You watch Star Wars and like Star Wars has so many like elements in it because it's just the hero's journey.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of spiritual elements you could pull from it. Was that like when you really got into, or was like a different movie that you were like, oh, there's so many elements here where like I can really enjoy it?
Um, so for me it was I mean, like I said, when I was younger, I had seen some elements in The Little Mermaid, which was my favorite childhood movie. And it just kind of hit me one day. But as of more recently, it was Star Wars for me, seeing Anakin as sort of the first Adam and then Luke as sort of the second Adam, and the Force as being God or the Holy Spirit. And all of that's just sort of jumped out at me. Um, and it was my first time ever seeing Star Wars. I'm still catching up on Star Wars content. Um, uh, I'm a newer a newer baby nerd. Um, uh, so if you guys have any Star Wars content for me to watch first, let me know because there's still a lot I haven't seen.
There's so much. Disney
Yeah,
is just
I
milking
watched
it. They're
all the
just like,
movies at this point. So I watched all of the movies,
Yeah, all
but
movies.
I haven't rewatched the sequel trilogy. I've only rewatched the first two trilogies. Um, but I haven't seen other much more other than the movies, Clone Wars, and like part of Bad Batch. So I have a lot to watch.
Okay. So
Yeah,
if you, I
I
mean, you've
mean,
already got the big part if you've already finished Clone
I love the
Wars.
context that it gave to the prequel trilogy. It
So,
was fantastic.
yeah, the guy that did
mhm,
Clone War or did
yeah,
Clone Wars, he really wanted to fix some stuff in the
yeah,
prequels that some fans didn't like because he's one of the super
Yeah,
fans. Like
gotcha.
the Force being something you could measure through
mhm,
DNA. I don't
yeah,
know why that was ever a
Gotcha.
decision. I
yeah,
don't know. That's one of those George Lucas things where he had so many ideas and he had so much cachet. They
yeah,
kind of let him do
Hmm.
yeah,
whatever he want. It wasn't like with the original films if he like where he had so much help
yeah.
and like
Gotcha.
the people that helped him out kind of reined everything in. Like his wife edited the first
Oh, the
movie.
guy had a Paddington. That's
Oh,
so
I didn't
good.
know that.
So and it's so the scene where him and Ben are talking in the hut, she it was shot one way, but she trimmed it and flipped it. So
Ah,
the way it's shot and how it's filmed and how it's edited is out of order. So if you actually rewatch it, you see C3PO where he like randomly jerks. It's because of how she edited it. So always over like, oh, why does C-3PO jerk? Like it, like of course, every little moment Star Wars gets like a little. Someone likes to give information to, and I think someone later was like, oh, when they're talking, C-3PO was listening, and like it sparked some weird memory he had that was in his databanks that didn't get erased, or something like. 'Cause there's so much ancillary Star Wars information out there that Disney kind of erased, and then sometimes gets pulled back in. Yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see because we got the 40th anniversary for Star Wars this year, or
Wow, it's a
50th.
long time. It's a long time.
Because it's 77.
I
So
got a lot
the
of
first
work.
one,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
the first
50th.
one they're putting on theaters, but I think it's the not special edition version.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that doesn't have George Lucas changing
The
up
original.
Jabba or Sice Noodles or any of those characters.
Hmm.
It's less intrusive CGI. It's man, it's gonna be interesting to see because I think I don't remember if I watched the special editions. I had the first 3 films on tape, and I don't remember which editions they were because there's so many different editions out there, and I can't remember which one it was. I know it, but it had gold. It had gold on the cover, like they all had, so it had to be the special editions. Oh gosh darn it! Yeah,
That was the special. That was the special editions. Yeah, I remember those.
yeah.
And then they had the silver one. They had the
Star Wars
silver
is one of
and
those
the
things.
gold.
There's so many characters, and they go from different eras. It's fun to see medias and like the characters they create and like the message they want to turn. Even if like I don't know how spiritual George Lucas is.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
something influenced it. Okay, he did copy. Okay, there is
He copied Dune.
tinges of Dune, but it's
Copied Dune. No, there's not. No. There was. Bear read Star Wars, and it was like,
As
should
long
we
and
sue?
then you watch
No, it's not worth
the David Lynch Dune, and there are Star Wars elements in it. Well, they're doing elements, but in the
there's-
but you
no,
think
there
it's
were
Star
Dune
Wars
elements.
if you
Star Wars
watch
just
Taking out the egg.
because yes.
yeah, it's one of those things. It's like the He-Man movie they made in the '90s with Dolph Lundgren. There's Star Wars elements because someone just wanted to make a Star Wars film, but they had to make a He-Man film. So there's like
That's hilarious.
random like set pieces I think are from Star Wars because they just used them off the lot, and it's weird because it's not He-Man, but it's like so it's frustrating in that aspect because they want to do this big movie but don't have the budget, so they're just grabbing random crap like the first Star Wars film where Lucas had no money and just grabbed random crap and made this film, which then turned into this juggernaut franchise for Disney. Like,
Yeah.
So to answer your question from earlier, the
yes.
Rebels is
Mhm.
definitely like after you finish Bad Batch, since that's a continuation of Star Wars. Rebels would definitely be the next thing because that
Oh, and I'm
kind of
excited
goes
to
right
watch
into
Ahsoka.
Ashoka.
Was a fan of her from Clone Wars.
Yeah,
Okay, Rebels.
yeah, because Rebels it's basically what you got to watch Rebels before Ashoka though because it's basically
Yeah,
season
Ahsoka essentially
whatever
just
after.
ties up
It's
any
basically
loose ends that were
continues
left from
the story.
Rebels,
Okay.
which
Okay. So finish
Yeah.
Bad Batch, Rebels,
up and
Ahsoka.
opens
I
up.
got you.
yeah.
Noted.
Mhm.
And then after that,
Yes.
you could watch Visions. It's not really connecting anything. It's fun to see Star Wars through different lenses,
Okay.
and there's
Is that
fun.
like the what if of Star Wars?
It's like anthology series. Like it could take place, it could not. It's different art houses making fun Star Wars shorts. So you could have them take place. Some I don't think can,
Gotcha.
but it's fun. You could just fit it in somewhere.
Cool.
And then we got
And
Maul.
then you got the tales from the dark side and from the light side, or the Jedi. Yeah, where you get the different little shorts of that kind of fit back really back in the Clone Wars era. Which that way you don't have those are just
Oh,
shorts and
nice.
they don't have to worry about the time
Okay.
frames from everything you've watched.
Noted. I got you.
It just really seems with Star Wars
Yeah.
they want to ignore part of the sequels. It feels like.
Yeah, I've
Like,
seen
at one point-
multiple headlines saying that those are about to be retconned, and I guess we're gonna see.
They should just do because Clone Wars or with the prequels, a lot of people didn't like those, but then Filoni has done so much work to fix it. I feel like they should just do that instead of having more effort to not confuse your fan base who have gravitated to some of these characters from the sequels. Like there's people I know that like Rey or they like some of these characters from the sequels, and now that they're gonna be gone, do you reintroduce them and or do you start whole cloth and like it, I don't know what they're gonna I don't know.
Yeah.
Like from what I had heard, they're just
Yeah, they're
doing
just
something
gonna
like
jump
a
in the
different. They're
timeline,
not following the Skywalker line anymore. Well,
which
and yeah,
Legends did,
they do it
like the
because they stay in the same
pre-Disney
universe, just
buying
different
Lucasfilm
area.
did, where they told like
Yeah.
it's a far descendant of Han and Leia's kids, and he has a connection to the Force, but he doesn't want to be connected to the Force, so he takes like this
Mm.
drug in the Star Wars universe, so it dampens like his connection to the Force. But he keeps having visions of like Vader, so it's kind of Kylo, but like
Mm.
like not weird emo Darth Vader with it. It was actually weird and fun and interesting. It's just Han Solo, but if he had the Force, it was actually fun
Huh.
to read. And all that ancillary
Mm.
Star Wars stuff where it was like you had like the fall and rise of the new empire, but not the new empire from the movies and stuff like that. It was fun. So when it
Yeah. Well, they're
yes,
touching on
yeah,
some of that with the
because like
Ahsoka stuff.
Sabine, she's not really connected to the Force, but like I guess everyone's connected to the Force, but in different ways. Yeah, yeah, yes, because you
Let's
that we'll
Let's
another
let's
time.
leave it.
we'll save it
We
for
got a
the
guest.
Wikipedia. We'll say yes, we'll
Yeah.
save it for the
Yes.
Wikipedia.
We have a guest. We have to let the guest. We
Uh,
have to let the guest
uh,
talk.
what is your usual reaction when because you've talked about doing spiritual content with your movie content? What is the usual reaction with that? Is it mostly positive, or do you have like that one usually outlier comment?
I mean, there are always outliers, right? But yeah, it's been mostly positive. I've had two videos where it's basically just an introduction to what I do on TikTok, which is just, hey, I find Christian themes in nerdy movies, and a lot of people have just left like really positive comments that they can just people that relate but don't have a space. But there seems to be a lot of us out there. um, uh, for the most part, it's been pretty positive. There is always one or two people that wonder why not just preach instead of preach through the movie, and I understand the hesitation or the confusion, but for the same reason that Jesus spoke taught through parables. It's really just makes it easier to understand for someone who's not too familiar with the gospel. It makes it more accessible for people that are curious but don't know. Um, uh, so yeah, there's some people that wonder or that leave a mean comment every once in a while, but for the most part, I've really just found fellow believers that also love these movies and love these characters and love to talk about the themes that they've also noticed.
It's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's interesting to see because it's like you're saying with parables, like movies in a way are we see them like with like in like Greek legends, like we kind of
Hmm.
now like that's kind of how we fit them in. So we are trying like with you, there's going to be people on social media that are like, oh, I don't want to hear anything about the Bible, but be more, they might not be as reticent trying to hear someone if you're trying to pair it with like a movie, like, oh, I like that movie, and like now I'm thinking about that, and that might be something
Exactly.
they might not go to a church, but like now they have that thought in their head where they're like, oh, I like that idea, maybe I'll explore this a little bit, and
And that's the heart behind it. It's one to give fellow Christian nerds a space and a community to rant about the way that they see the gospel and their favorite stories and their favorite characters, but also to make it more accessible and easier to understand to people that are maybe curious about the faith, but they don't know how to approach it or how to access it, or people that don't want to know anything about the faith, but they love Captain America or they love Iron Man or they love Superman, and they're willing to watch the video just because, and just because it's about their favorite character, and that's a seed planted, and that's our job.
Yeah. There's so many workout things I see. No, for my brother, where when I see his social media, where it's like Captain America is like that main core, and there's others like you got Rocky, you have others, and like that they gravitate towards people gravitate towards that, so they might see that they get Rocky, they can compare him to like Samson or something like someone else in the Bible or someone
Mhm.
like that. There's that parallel that they can go to. Not saying Rocky is Samson or Samson is Rocky, but like you have someone that overcomes some huge obstacle in that aspect. Yeah,
You could see
I
Rocky
the
Yeah.
first
Horror as a
Judge I
David
thought
and
was like I was
Goliath
like
thing, and
when I heard Judge I thought saying something.
or
No, he
something
was
like that
not a
than,
good.
than
There's no real
Samson.
good parallels for
Samson was
him.
not really a good
Pushes down the temple. Yo, Adrian, I did it.
for
No.
anything.
Oh man. Uh, that's what I just want. We need a Sylvester Stallone doing a Samson movie. I think they didn't they do a Samson movie not that long ago?
Did they?
I don't remember who's in it.
They did a few years back. Well, about 10 years.
Oh man, I can't remember now.
So I'll ask about a franchise. Lord of the Rings fan? Yes or no?
Ooh,
So I actually watched Lord of the Rings for the first time a few months ago because it was so heavily requested on TikTok. As soon as I did that video where I was like, "Hey, identify Christian themes," like half of the comments were, "So Lord of the Rings." And so I um I watched all of them, was it like 3 or 4 months ago? Um, uh, and I was very confused because I expected the movie to, at least the first movie. I later on realized that it was one continuous story. Um, uh, but I expected the
Yeah.
first one just to be, 3 acts and have the and have like a proper ending. But I very much enjoyed it. A lot of very clear Christian themes and resurrection and Christ figures. That has the most Christ figures that I think I have ever seen in a franchise. Um, uh, with Aragon and Frodo being the bearer of sins, and Gandalf, who literally comes back from the dead, spiritually renewed after dying fighting an evil. Um, uh, a lot of very, very clear things, and I very much enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna have to give it all a rewatch to do longer um, videos on YouTube, but a really fun franchise for sure.
Did you
I
watch the
haven't.
regular or the extended version? Is the question.
I watched the regular ones.
Okay, so you got to watch the extended now. The next one you got to watch.
Yes,
oh
that's
jeez.
the next task for
And
the
then
Lord
if
of
you
the
want
Rings
to throw in the
franchise.
shows or the last Lord of the Rings movie they did, which I don't remember if it's anywhere streaming. I think it's on HBO. Yeah, the Rohirrim.
War of Rohirrim. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's HBO. It's on
yeah,
HBO.
yeah. It was good.
It wasn't
I
bad.
enjoyed it. It was
The
nice to see
anime.
like in a different art form than just live action. It was fun to see.
Now you got to watch the Hobbits too. So,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna
the
watch the
Hobbits
Hobbits too.
and Rings of
there.
Power.
I will say I have not encountered a more passionate fan base than Tolkien's fan base. Like they were, they're very, they
Yeah.
love, they were like, okay, you watched the first one. Now, what do you think about the second? I was like, I just finished it. Wait, pause. um, uh, but it was a really accommodating community. They're really cool.
I'm glad you enjoyed
The
it.
yeah, the Lord of the Ring films are. It's just there's so much in those movies and in those books. It's one big world that you could pull a lot from. There's so many messages from each
Mhm.
character, even if it's like a minor character that has like one scene. There's something you're gonna get from it, and I think Peter Jackson did it pretty well.
Okay.
Like the fact that 25 years later, 20 years later, that like people
Hmm.
still really enjoy those films.
Which, by the way, side note, if you happen to ever go watch the version in theaters after the 25-year release, he has basically this big rant he goes on for like the first 20 minutes. And it's like crazy. I mean, it's not crazy like he's crazy, but he keeps talking, he keeps talking. Everyone's like, get to the dang film. And he just keeps on talking. And it's just like, oh yeah, I probably need to shut up now. Here's Lord of the Rings. So,
That's funny. That's
but
hilarious.
yeah,
Actually, that's hilarious.
but but yeah, so because I had a chance to before the snowpocalypse moved
Deep
in a couple weeks
freeze.
ago to go watch the first one in theaters again. So I don't think I watched it the first run 25 years ago, but anyway, so that was fun.
Yeah. I've watched them all at some point, and I don't think I watched all the Hobbit films, so I think at some point I probably I'll need to. I've a friend that wants to watch it. I was like, we gotta find the time to carve out a load of time over a month or something like
Yeah.
that to do it. But it's all, depending on the extended editions, if you want to do those or not. It's like, but people do it. I've seen people do it.
It's a
So,
minute for sure.
oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah. It's something to do better in a group setting than in like by yourself. Some people do by themselves. I've heard it's more enjoyable to do with friends and family if you
No, yeah.
can, if you can hold them down that long.
Down that long. If you could force them in front of the television that long.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
I did watch them by myself, and the thing about my family is that I am the only nerd, and I feel like that's
Hmm.
why it took me a hot minute to find my way into the nerd family because there's no one around who's who also enjoys all of that stuff. But I'm gonna have to kidnap one of them to maybe
There you
watch
go.
the Hobbit movies with me.
Do you enjoy watching stuff by yourself more, or do you like it in the group setting?
I very much like it in a group setting. I now have a few friends from church that I
Hmm.
can like kidnap for premieres that I'm excited about. Like No Way Home was fantastic because we all went in a big church group and everybody was really excited for that. Um, uh, so I do like it I prefer it in a group setting, but oftentimes, because of work schedules, we're not able to kidnap someone.
Yeah, I have one friend. He's been on here. We went to I can't remember what movie we went to go see. We usually go see movies together, and we got lost in the theater because he showed up later. So we're like texting each other during the movie, trying to figure out where he's at in the theater. Like, where are you? And so, but you're also not trying to be the distraction. You're just like
Hmm.
they always tell you not to have your phone
Don't
on.
have your phone right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's always fun in a group time. I have people like when I talk about going to movies, like, why don't you take me? Like, there's some movies I want to see by myself. It's for me, it's more enjoyable. So I think it depends on the movie
Mm,
too. When you go see it, sometimes
that's
it's like
fair.
you really want to watch it by yourself, or you want to have it with other people.
I actually, uh, I agree with you. It depends on the movie. I felt like that way about Superman. I was like, this is my moment. I don't need anyone around for this. Um, so yeah,
Mhm.
I'm with you. I feel like it does depend on the movie.
Oh, geez, something just fell. I just ignore that. I've it's these floors. I have to move stuff around sometimes because the floors start sinking a little bit. So if it's not the shelf's not lined up properly, stuff will just tip. And I just fixed it before hopping on the call. So I guess I didn't fix it well
That's
enough.
funny.
That's great. At least it's not something that's above my head. At least it wasn't that.
There.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
just slap.
That would have been
at least,
funnier.
hopefully it's not something sharp. Just or it's got a sharp point to it. Uh, let's see. I don't have any other questions. Anyone else have any other questions?
So what are your plans for like future content? You going to continue just doing what you're doing now? You have any thoughts coming up?
Um, yeah, for future content, we're gonna continue doing breakdowns on movies. I think we're gonna start narrowing videos down to a single theme so that we can uh, elaborate on it a bit more, and just do maybe two or three videos on a movie. for YouTube, but that way the important themes sort of get more attention. And I think we're also going to start doing
Mhm.
music. There are some secular songs that are just straight up gospel if you lean into it that way. Um, uh, Movies are probably going to remain the pillar though, because well, good versus evil is common and in nerdy movies,
Mhm.
and where there's just a lot from those movies that you can take from Bible themes wise. But we're gonna start doing some songs. We're probably gonna start doing some shows. Shows we might take per season rather than I feel like per
Episode by
episode might
episode,
be,
yeah.
yeah, might be a little too much. But shows we're gonna start doing um, uh, per season. We're gonna start including some songs, and we're also just gonna do straight up Christian content. Because I mean, the point of everything, even though it's movies through a Christian lens, the point of it all is to point people back to Christ. So um, uh, we're gonna also just do straight up Christian content, Bible content. Probably just slightly more entertaining Bible studies in the form of a YouTube video.
Yeah, you talk about secular music. That's interesting because there is this rise of musicians that I don't outwardly promote that they're Christians, but like they have in touch in some way. Like currently, that's in the news. Jelly Roll was on stage talking about Christ during the Grammys. Could talk about doing anything else. He could have been talking about other topics that's in the news currently, and he has been touched in some way. There's a clip I've been seeing
Hmm.
of his wife talking, him wanting to talk about him would be a pastor, which I found interesting. I don't know, like I personally I feel like he needs to have a little more spiritual growth before he does stuff like that.
Hmm.
Like he's on this like road of he recognizes like there is a God out there. He's been touched
Yeah.
by God in some way, which is cool in the way he talks about it. And he's not, like there's some celebrities where they talk about Christ and immediately you don't hear about them anymore, like in the news, because everyone kind of, shoos them away. Like
Hmm.
you hear, there's a couple of them that are out there that they pop up occasionally, and there's always about like this weird bender of like this person sucks because they believe in XYZ and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as from what I've heard, he's never been one of those people, or at least from what I've read on him, there's never been a group of people that are like that. I'm sure there's some subsect, but of his fan base are like, oh, why J. sucks now? Why is he talking about
I'm
this
sure
stuff?
there's
But
always those.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll has been one of those artists as of recently. Of course, Tori Kelly has always been outspoken about her faith, and she does Christian music and non-Christian music and music that doesn't sound like Christian music, but it is when you actually pay attention to the lyrics. So we're gonna be covering some of her songs for sure. Um, Justin Bieber is definitely not someone who's I feel like people hold celebrities to a higher standard once they say that they're believers, right? Which is fine and which is fair, but
Mhm.
uh, I mean, no one is the perfect believer, right? No one
no,
is the perfect Christian. No one is ever going to get to uh, a full sanctification here, you know. So Justin Bieber is one of those that has been low key releasing Christian music for a while. Like Purpose came out a long time ago, which is I think very evidently about God. Um, uh, but it came out in an album where people were just like, it's a love song. Um, uh, but Definitely about God. I think a couple of the Jonas Brothers, um, uh, as of the most recent solo album from Nick, I had been suspicious of whether or not his faith was there or not, because they're church kids, and they're pastors' kids, um, and I knew that the eldest Kevin definitely still had his faith, but I wasn't sure about the other two. But it seems that Nick has also found his way back to his faith, which is great. So he's going to be one of the first songs that we do over on YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah. Any other artists that you guys know that low key?
I
Oh yeah.
mean, POD always has their
The
faith in
Head
their
Welch, the guy from
lyrics.
Korn, claims to be a
Brian Head
Christian.
Welch.
Yeah, Brian Head Welch.
I
He
can't
actually,
say that I know a
funny
lot
enough,
of Korn music.
he did a cover of he
Um,
and Lacey Sturm did a cover of a Justin Bieber song, and it made
that's
the
it.
song actually tolerable and better. It's
And in
not.
fact,
Here's
I
the thing.
did not know.
It's not against Justin Bieber. It's not my style of music.
Fair enough.
And you know, Justin Bieber, unfortunately, I think he's always gonna have the stigma of his early
Mm-hmm.
career on him. However much he tries, everyone's gonna see him as that young kid doing music and not as the adult doing music. Like
Hmm.
changing, not I don't know if he ever changed the genre, but like changing some of his lyrics, changing some of his mentality and messaging. I think he's never
Hmm.
going to shake that. That's always be part of his career. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, people
Yeah.
stick to first impressions,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're
Well, like,
definitely hard to shake. But
mhm.
yeah, it's been a while that he's been low key or high key reconnecting with his faith. Um, uh, but everybody flashes back to the kid that was fighting with the paparazzi, and that's also
Yeah, yeah,
understandable.
yeah. It,
What
I think
sticks in people's minds.
Mhm.
whenever I see new stuff, and I usually don't
Yeah.
read it because it's not something I try to pay attention to. But it's like it's always that one of those photos, or it's like
Yeah.
there's always like those him on the beach photos that would circle every couple of years that people are talking about. Like he's never gonna shake that, and that's just you being on the internet. Anyone on the internet that you're never that's something you're never gonna shake. Like someone's gonna bring up a video you made 10 years ago, if you're been in the platform long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
also
It's like
unfortunate because they
other
don't let
bands
people
that,
grow, you know?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
Christian.
I'm sorry, you were saying? I cut you off. My apologies.
No, that's okay. It's like other bands. That's all good. Other bands that like they think they're composed of Christians, but don't necessarily say it's Christian. Like Three Doors Down, very strong believers, but they
Gotcha.
don't. Their songs aren't necessarily Christian. So they got things like I know went to the concert a couple years ago now, and
Beautiful.
he's giving the gospel from the stage in the middle of the thing.
Phew.
Of course, then he got
Yeah.
diagnosed with throat
Yeah.
cancer like
And
right
Something
after
to
that.
pray
But
for. NF is also another one of those artists.
yeah,
Hmm.
He's very good.
yeah.
oh yeah, you got the guys from 21 Pilots. They claim to be. They always talk about being Christians.
Oh, really?
They're
I didn't
they're
know that.
they that's like some of the early albums they would talk about it. Like I don't know if they ever did it in their press stuff, but like I'd heard it been mentioned, and there's some message you could pull from some of their songs, especially off
Mhm.
of. Again, I liked their music. I was really a fan of Trench. I like that sound they're going for. After that, I didn't like they went from like cinematic moody to like high pop. Like there are some good songs off those albums they've done, but like Trench was like that one album. I was like, oh, they're more than just that first album that I listened to, and then really didn't like that first album does have some good songs on it, but it wasn't the 21 Pilots sound that like Blurry Face or albums after that really made them that everyone
Mhm.
remembers, because that Blurry Face album's always going to be sold anywhere you can see it wherever you go. And so it's interesting to see some of the messages in all of their music that's there, whether like some of their better known songs or some of their lesser known songs. There's like messages you could pull out of.
Yeah,
There
for
was the
21 Pilots, I remember hyperfixating on the Blurry Face album, but I gotta be honest, I haven't been keeping up, so I'll have to give it a listen.
Trench is really solid. I really like that one. Scaled and Icy, I liked some of the songs on, but I didn't like the overhaul tonal shift where it went more poppy with it, which is totally fine. There are good songs
I
off of
like
it. It just
pop, it won't
wasn't
bother
my
me.
it wasn't my musical choice. Like
I gotcha.
so not saying it's not a bad album. It was just like, oh, I got to get used to this. Going from it was like kind of like a whiplash, kind of going from like
Gotcha.
one cohesive sound to another.
Hmm.
21 I can't think of the others. There's a couple I like, but like they're over Christians. Like the Ryan Clark from Demon Hunter, he talks about it a lot in his music. John Cooper from Skillet talks a lot about it. Um, what was the other band that I was listening to recently that talks a lot about it? I can't think of who it is now. Crap. I was just listening to one of their albums earlier, one of their newer ones, and I can't think of who it is now. It's some band. I think the guys from Sabaton. I think I'll call like there's a lot of over Christian themes in some of their music too.
I have not heard of them, so you'll have to message me their names so I can
Even
listen
in-
later.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's one song.
if even there's some stuff that it's
Yeah,
like they might be talking against God, but
I gotcha.
they still have the Christian theme in the song. Like even if they're trying to be
yes.
Yeah.
facetious or just
Oh yeah.
anti.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions?
It's nice having you on with us tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was fun. I
Yeah,
think
it's
actually
fun.
this is our first
Yeah.
female guest besides having for a short stint having a female other co-host on Crad.
I'm honored.
I believe you're correct. Yeah, I believe you're right. So
Yeah.
We made it.
We do have at least one other female guest
We
coming
arrived.
on. That was a Dawk suggestion, so I got her lined up on the docket.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome.
Just
Stop
get-
by
can-
anytime. By the way,
Can I ask you guys a question and ask
Oh,
what
yeah,
your
sure.
favorite
Oh, for
superhero
sure.
movies are?
sure.
I really liked the Batman. There's a lot of messages I really liked in that film. I think I saw it twice in a week because I had different friends that wanted to go see it, so I had to line it up on my schedule because for whatever reason I had the most open schedule when that movie came out. Much like it's in a similar vein to Superman. There's a lot of similar messages with each other, which is interesting because they weren't connected at all. It
Mhm.
just I think those creators both had different ideas, and because Superman and Batman could at sometimes are portrayed as two sides or different sides of the same coin. So it's interesting to see these two characters, and it's very frustrating. These two characters won't interact. At least those versions won't interact,
Mhm.
and it's very frustrating because I like to see them interacting.
That would be really interesting, but I also feel like James Gunn's Superman was so whimsical and the
Yeah, Robert
Batman was
Pattinson's
so
it's very moody, and
grounded. Yeah.
especially with Matt Reeves wanted to do Superman in the film, and he cut it out.
Really? I didn't know that.
But his Superman would have been this guy at a soup kitchen with a Superman shirt. That's all it would have been. It
Gotcha.
wasn't like Superman. It would have just been like a grounded guy wearing a Superman shirt. Like it had no powers, but it would have been Clark Kent. Like it wasn't. That was Matt Reeves' idea, and I think someone's like, no, you can't do that.
Alright, what about you guys? What are your favorite? Also, the Batman is like on the docket for me to do like a longer deep dive on because it was requested quite a bit
Nice.
when I asked what people wanted to see.
Yeah, make sure you got time carved out. That's a 3-hour movie. So
Yeah, for sure.
Well, for
What
me,
about you guys?
for me, of course, the reason I brought up the Lord of the Rings is because I am a Lord of the Rings fan. One, two, I would say the Narnia movies.
yes,
Yeah.
Both the old and new ones.
yeah. Disney never finished the new ones.
Yeah, which is kind of sad for me because I'd be very curious to see what they would do with the rest of them, rest of the films. So those.
How are you
Well,
feeling about the Greta
And then there's the old
Gerwig
ones either, technically.
version that's coming?
I did
I
not know
asked
there
very
was one.
carefully.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll
You
see.
didn't know there was one.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
I hear rumblings every couple years that she's attached to it, and like I've never watched
Yeah.
a Greta Gerwig film, so I can't really judge that much. I didn't she do the what Little Women? I know she did Barbie. Did she do
She did
Little Women
Barbie,
or
she
was
did Little Women, yeah. I asked with hesitation because they've casted Aslan as a woman.
yeah?
Oh,
Yes. Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, was
Is
it
it
Glenn
close?
Close?
ouch.
Um,
Yeah.
Is
hmm,
it yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
We'll see, yeah.
We'll see. Like I said, it's
Fair
I'm not
enough.
gonna make a complete judgment until I see what they do. I mean, because the whole thing was writing what would happen if you wrote the thing
Mm.
into a fictional place,
Yep.
and it was a piece of fiction in the first place. So we'll see how the reimagining is before saying no and fueling
That's
the
Fair
fair.
rage
enough.
bait
Yeah.
That's
that's
Oh
fair.
going to
yeah.
have that was being
Oh
put
yeah.
out there for.
That's fair.
All right, what about yours? What's your favorite movie franchise? Whatever you'd like.
Um, let's see. If we're gonna say superheroes, Spider-Man's always been the thing,
Oh
and
yeah.
Andrew
N
was the
or yeah,
best so
with
Yeah.
far.
either Tom
I mean,
or
nothing wrong with Tom,
Toby.
but
It was supposed to be. They
Toby
almost
shouldn't have
replaced him
been.
with Jake
No,
Gyllenhaal,
no,
and which is funny
Toby
because he
was
was
no.
Mysterio.
Really?
It was when he did two.
Oh,
He I guess he injured
No.
his back before in
Like
pre-production because he was doing a different movie, and they almost recast him. It was just like one of those weird movie things where you wish you could see into like another universe and see how that would have turned out.
huh.
He was doing Seabiscuit.
he hurt his
No,
back
there was
on
another movie he was doing before
on
that, and
two.
then he also hurt his back too,
On
doing
third.
the second one. It was
Oh
having to do those at the same time. Oh, yeah, not be Venom.
no, Topher Grace should have
Because
done it back then.
Ah,
yeah,
that's a
because that was a
good
choice.
No, he should have been
They almost got
he should have
because
been
James
Peter
Cameron
Parker.
almost did a Spider-Man film. They almost got was who was it? It was Leonardo DiCaprio. They almost got to be Spider-Man. Like I don't know. It was I don't know why I don't know how that would have turned out. It's
Yeah.
Thought I thought it was they did good job with
yeah.
the Amazing
Yeah.
Spider-Man, even though the second one they tried to put too much in it, and then they
So you're
redeemed
a
it with in the No Way
tasmapologist.
Home, having him in
Yeah.
there with the way
So
he
you're a
aged.
You're a
tasmapologist.
tasmapologist.
Hmm. Huh?
My brother and my sister-in-law,
Yeah.
his now wife, connected over that movie. So like that's one of their favorite films. And I remember watching as a kid, people complaining about it. I was like, I
Hmm.
mean, it's everything you like about Spider-Man. It was the guy that was writing it and making it wanted to do like a Spider-Man indie film, kinda, because it had that feel
Yeah.
of kind of an indie film to it. And I think
Yeah.
people just didn't like it
I'm
and give
low-key
it
a
a lot of crap. Yeah.
tasmapologist. I enjoy it much more than what most people treat it as if it's the worst, and it's really not. Like not at all.
There's worse out there.
There's far
There's
worse out there. Yeah, and they definitely did try to
Yeah.
fit a lot into the second movie.
I mean,
But I enjoy them.
well, that was also right when the
Hmm.
whole Marvel thing was taking off, and so they didn't know what they were going to get or whether they were
Yeah.
going to get how the rights were going to go. So if uh, Feige and them hadn't, if it had done better, then they probably would
they
have
were
brought
hedging their
Andrew
bets on it
Garfield
because I
in
think
instead
for
of
Avengers
Tom
they
Holland.
ended up cutting it out because of time. They were going to have Osborn Tower in Avengers, like in the skyline, but I think they ran out of
Really?
time in like in somewhere in production. They ran out of time, or they didn't get the asset for it to put it in, like the to put it in, or they would have like
Mm.
tested it, like let's see if this works. I think it was like in that before Joss Whedon changed a bunch of stuff for Avengers because he wanted to have the Wasp also in that Avengers movie. That was one of the things that got taken out, like for time, like time or for like again right thing. They didn't know if it was going to do well or not, and I think they would have. I don't know. Remember if they were going to have Avengers Tower in Amazing Spider-Man as like a teaser or something like in the skyline
Oh,
or
that
something
would have
like
been
that. It was like
cool.
I would love to see how that worked. Like nothing against Tom Holland. I think the more movies he did, the better he got as Spider-Man. but for some people, it took a long time for people to warm up for him, especially with how close the Spider-Man movies are together. Like in retrospect, how close they are.
Yeah, I mean, I like Tom. Um, Toby is always going to be near and dear to my heart because those are the ones that I watched as a kid, and those were and I said I'm a late to the nerd game, but I did watch those as a kid and repeatedly and memorized it and all of those. But yeah, I feel like Toby, Andrew, Tom is my ranking. But I'm excited for Brand New Day. I feel like they're going back to basics with Spider-Man,
Oh yeah.
which is great.
At least that's the
Yeah.
hope.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll have to wait. Isn't the trailer supposed to drop in the next couple days for Super Bowl? Isn't that what I read?
I didn't know. I
Or
hope
something like
so.
that?
I might actually watch the Super Bowl.
It was that or Doomsday was going to get a trailer drop. And yeah. Oh yeah.
Doomsday's definitely getting a trailer for Super Bowl. That's
They're gonna have to with
That's a
the
no-brainer.
trajectory they've been doing those teasers.
that's the next big
You'd think it'd be
tentpole.
a no brainer as long as it's not like just a ticking clock. Because I feel if they do the ticking clock thing, it's a lot of people are gonna get upset if it's just that. Like, if they don't see a little bit of something. But like I don't know.
I'll be
We'll,
one of
we'll,
those people. No, I'm kidding.
we'll wait and see. I thought Super Bowl wasn't for another couple weeks, and then I realized the day after work is on Super Bowl, which I don't watch Super Bowl, but I'm gonna hear a lot of people talking about it, and it's gonna be on the break room, which is fine. It's better than lately they've been playing like the View, not the View, but like some random news thing. So it's being annoying going to the break room. You have to hear that all day, and you can't find the remote to change anything because the cleaning lady hides our remote,
That's
which is fun
hilarious.
because she wants to just play the news, I guess, which is fun in a way, but also annoying. I guess it's her way of telling people to get out of the break room. You know. Um, but yeah, is there anything else we want to touch on?
Be interested seeing some of the movies that are coming up. Like that's gonna be that will touch on stuff like the thing,
Oh,
like the new
is he
one,
doing a new film?
Spielberg's new one,
Have
Disclosure
to
Day.
check that out.
Yeah, where basically God comes out and says who
Oh, I
he is,
hadn't heard
like
of
who
that.
Oh,
explains
interesting.
everything. Yeah, I think it's I want to say Naomi Watts, but I
Yeah,
can't remember.
there's
I
a
might be wrong on that one. And then the new
there's gonna
Star
be a
Wars
bunch of
trailers coming
interesting.
out
Yeah, got Mandalorian. I'm sure we'll get a
for
trailer.
Mandalorian and Grogu.
I think Mortal Kombat will probably get a Super Bowl trailer because that and Street Fighter because those are two. I don't know.
Mandalorian and Grogu, didn't it already get a trailer? I definitely saw one when I
Well,
went to
I think it got a
Sun Hill.
teaser. It'll probably have a Super
Gotcha.
Bowl spot,
Well, they'll probably get
and I'm sure
another
Mortal
one.
Kombat will have one unless they delay it
Yeah.
again. And then Street Fighter, I'm sure we'll get an actual teaser. Because I don't. I think it only IGN released it for whatever reason. Um, what else is coming out this year? That's probably gonna get a spot. I'm trying to think what else.
Scream's probably gonna get
Project
one
Hail
since it
Mary will
comes out
probably
at the
get
end of the
one.
month. Super Mario,
Oh, most definitely.
Super
It'll
Mario
all be Yoshi focused
Galaxy.
because
The Odyssey?
oh, there's a new Minions movie.
New
Just
Minions
let that
apparently is
franchise
coming out.
die. Nothing against the Minions. It's just those movies progressively
So,
got
so,
worse each one that came out.
so there's that pessimistic Nathaniel again. Nothing against him, but let it die. You know?
My brother likes those films, and again, I'll put them on for background noise. But like after the first couple,
Background noise.
because sometimes you just need that background noise. And like they're fine films, but they're not meant for me. You know,
I
it'll be
got
for the it'll be for the Facebook moms because that's all that's what you see them posting is like memes with the Minions.
And with that, this comes right. No, it's kidding. Nah, it's play. No, but yeah, we really do thank you for coming on, and you're more
Oh
than
yeah.
welcome to come
Oh
on
yeah.
again
Yes.
sometime if you like.
Anytime,
anytime.
y'all let me know.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So
Definitely.
what is stuff that you're working on that's coming? I know
Yeah.
you've talked about you're doing music and stuff like that. If you want to
Hmm.
plug anything.
Yeah, I think that this upcoming Wednesday, we're going to release the first video that is music based, and the Wednesday after that, we're going to release a video on the first Avengers, which was also requested when I asked what people were interested in. Lots of people said the Avengers, the first one, so those are the two that are coming up next.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Doc, since Crad's muted, what do you got? What are you working on?
Just going through same old with it. Going through right now I'm in Second Samuel, going through a chapter every other day of that, and then with the
Heck yeah.
prayers from the
Crad, you
early
working on
church
anything? Or are you
in
kind
the
of
other days.
your stuff kind of TBD?
Kind of, yeah, to be determined at the moment.
Nice. So yeah, check out Mary Heart Ministries.
Yes, check out
Yes,
Marriott
yep,
Mysteries.
yep, yep.
Do
Check it
share a
out.
lot of good memes on there. We'll give you that. Check them out.
Heck yeah. Yeah, the one with JJ with you pointing like a madman. That one's.
Do you like that one?
I was like, what is Crad? He's like telling someone to put something down. Like, it's what it looks like. Let's see, with Super Bowl coming out, 'cause I forgot how close it is. I'll probably put. I did this last year and I like doing it. I put like a video of me talking about some of like the like funny fast food or like ads that come out, so like the Dorito ads and all that. I did that last year. And I found that fun. I depends on how much there is, because that was the problem last year. I was struggling trying to find them all. So I might just go, I might look back at like older Super Bowls and then like pull some of those out and talk about like some favorite ones or people that people really liked, um, ad wise. Other than that, the Quick Trip opened. We got a Quick Trip here, so I went and tried that out. Um, yeah, that it's very fancy for around here. If you've ever been to a Quick Trip, it's I was like, this is very fancy. This is they put it right in front of the casino, so guarantee all the casino money went to the Quick Trip. So yeah, and you can also check us out this podcast at Pizza Party Pod on social media, mainly on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I think it's only three places. At one point there was a Twitter, but Twitter sucks, and I don't usually use it. So it really depends on that. There was Blue Sky. I think there was an account, but I can only see my account, and from what I can gather, that's the only one I have. But I have a login written down for the podcast for that. But whatever. I think that's also dying, so I'm gonna ignore that. It can wither away. Um, not 10 minutes later. It won't be 10 minutes
10
later.
minutes
No, 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 no,
later.
no, no. So
And where can they find you? Our
Didn't you
guest.
already say? I thought
Yes.
you already said.
Oh, you can find me on TikTok
Yeah.
and YouTube for
Yeah.
Christian Lens Media. There is an Instagram. I don't post there. Hopefully, eventually, that's Christian Lens Official. So you guys can follow me there if I will eventually start posting there. But TikTok and YouTube is where I live at the moment, and it's the same username, Christian Lens Media.
Not Christian Lens Comics as the icon says. What I was looking for, I was like, when I was looking, I was like,
Not
I hope that
Christian Lens
I think that's.
Comics.
I was like, I hope that's it. I hope that's it. So hopefully, if I start tagging someone, it's gonna be someone else. Like, I don't know who you are.
So Christian, that might be an old account because Christian Lens Comics was the
It's Christian.
original.
Well, it's Christian Lens Official, but it's your logo. But instead of Christian Lens Media or Christian Lens Official, it says Christian Lens Comics on it. So I'm like, this looks it, but no one's posting it well, so I don't know.
That was the original name, and then I was like, I'm also gonna do songs. I'm also gonna do, and I talk about comics, but sparingly. So I was like, I'm mainly gonna do superhero movies. So let's change it to media. Um, but yeah, is that what the my profile picture says? I should update that.
I
Thank
think it
you for
does,
letting
and
me know.
I was a little confused about it when I was just looking and throwing thumbnails together, and I was like, which I have to redo because I misspelled Christian. I don't know how I keep misspelling it. There's been a couple.
Wow.
Crad, go back. There's a couple times where I've misspelled it. on the podcast that people have had to correct in the Discord, not in our Discord, but other Discords.
That's hilarious.
We're
Well,
going
thank
to
you
have
for
to
letting
talk
me
off
know. I
camera.
gotta update that.
I can't spell. We find out.
Hey, you helped her out though, so way to go.
There we go. That's a good. That's the best way to end it. Is just on that. That's awesome.